Yeah, so everything in moderation. Having multiple plates. I have realized over time and experience, learned the hard way. Um, Everything in moderation is something that I try to stick by in all of the different areas that I focus on, whether it's work, family. Um, I feel like just my born personality wise and in a role specifically as a working mom, I have definitely found myself in the past overcommitting myself. Um, whether it's volunteering at my kids' school, work projects, I have always wanted to be able to, um, I don't know, I guess feel like motherhood didn't stop me from the other areas of my life. And so I feel like it's this like internal objective I set for myself that very well got overwhelming. And so it's something now as I'm beginning my 40s, have realized that I am only one person. And as long as I'm trying my best every day, or at least trying, maybe not the best every day, that it's all good and I'm exactly where I need to be.
It is
So
excellent advice.
everything in moderation. And as far as like how it's applied in my parenting, I feel like, um, yes, I wanted to prove that I could, focus on work, not lose myself, and also be a really good mom, which soon got very overwhelming. But also, I've tried different ways of parenting, I guess. We read and consume so much information and advice these days. And so that portion is kind of what I try to keep in moderation. I understand that I'm not a super gentle parent, but I'm also, I don't need to be the other extreme of losing my patience either, and trying to find my middle ground that's a good balance. And again, sticking to who I am and the way that I parent my boys is the best that I'm going to be able to ever do is that. And so again, I guess I don't like saying like finding balance because I feel like then you're forever chasing that. But there is a peace and calm to where I feel like, I mean, my youngest is now 6 years old and probably the last year. So ever since he turned 5, I think is probably really truly the first time like the fog of kind of the baby toddler years lifted. And I was starting to pick up all of the different pieces of myself. So trying to do that and trying to do everything. I really do try every day. Like I said, even now I'm like scrambling, but take it day by day. That's really the only way that I feel like I can feel truly accomplished in everything that I have to do and feel responsible for. So
I love that. And thousands of us are following you every time you post on Simply Every blog. We can tell that you love being a mom because you always make me smile with your posts. What do you love about being a mom?
um so I will be 100% honest. I was not one of those girls that like dreamed about their wedding day or getting married or planned for it or had a wish or a goal. In the same vein, I didn't not have it as a dream. So um it sounds kind of backwards for someone who didn't dream about it, but I joke with my friends all of the time about how inadvertently I somehow followed the stereotypical route of, graduating college, meeting my husband, getting married, and doing like things quote unquote by the book. um, and I guess that's probably aligned with my type A nature, but it was never planned. I'm very much on the fly, as is all of the things I'm figuring out as a mom. But I think my favorite part of being a mom truly is both um, sometimes the overwhelming responsibility of raising good human beings, um, but just being able to really be in the moment and seeing the world through my kids' eyes as they grow and develop into their own individual personalities. I feel like if I think back to like key milestones and memories, more so than my kids' like personal milestones of like, you know, things that they did for the first time, the things that like truly are in my core memory book, are really out and about as I'm experiencing like everyday things with my kids and through my kids' eyes. I have, and I cherish really, you know, when we go on family trips or I'm able to explore. I thankfully, you know, I'm really lucky that I live in my hometown or live near my hometown, and like kind of re-experiencing some of the things that I went through as a kid myself and reliving those moments and seeing it through my own children's eyes. Um, and even the way that they have like their relationships with their grandparents and things like that. I think I'm really lucky that, you know, they have their grandparents in their lives and I can experience that relationship as well. But it really is for me, I think the best part of being a mom. Hopefully in the same vein through those experiences, creating good human beings for the next generation. But yeah, I feel like that's probably tied to who I am at my core.
What is your best advice for other moms?
My best advice is you are right where you're supposed to be, and what you're doing this day is the best that you are doing for your children, and that is enough.
That is
Um,
powerful.
it's as simple and complex as that is. I feel like it's a simple statement, but I think any mom who hears that or reads that knows exactly what I'm speaking to. We are our own worst critics, and I think that that rings the most true where the best of us and the worst of us comes to light, and we really are probably the ones who hold all of the kind of negative connotations to it, to ourselves, to it, and um, it's so not necessary. And the thing that I think I've shared before on my Instagram, when I was pregnant with my first, again, I was not one of those moms that I was, you know, looking forward to being pregnant. I love pregnant. I was very lucky to have a normal average pregnancy, thankfully without complications. And yet I can't say that I enjoyed every minute. Pregnancy is a journey. But I remember having a conversation with one of my elder mom friends, as I like to call it. She had a child already. And I remember asking her, as a first-time pregnant mom, I'm so worried, like, how am I going to know if I'm being a good mom, or how am I going to know if I'm a good mom? And her poignant words were very simple, but that I've carried that with me all these years. And she said that the fact that your child, you know, who isn't even born yet, you are sitting there worrying about how your words, actions, whatever it is that you do is going to impact that baby, is how I know you're going to be an amazing mom. I feel like a lot of us don't take pride in the fact that it's kind of innate and born in us. And your instincts probably are 90% of what drives you as being a good mom. But she said that, and she said, and that's how I know you're going to be a good mom. And honestly, the best of us are winging it every day, figuring it out as we go. And especially with your first, that baby and you are going to figure it out together.